This video is a critique of Total War Rome 2 that will go through the biggest problems with the game that I think are causing the apparent majority of the player base, including myself, to be unhappy with this addition to the Total War series. I'll be going over the state of the game both on its release and post-patch. This isn't the first review or critique of Total War Rome 2 by any means, but as a hardcore Total War fan, I'm making this review for people like me, so I'll be going into a lot more detail and taking a very different approach compared to what's out there right now. Before I start though, I think I should preface this video with some context so you can see where I'm coming from, because that will inform and set up the rest of the video and the series, and this video at least is going to be really fucking long. My name is Volound and I am, or I was at least, a reasonably big Total War YouTuber. I have nearly 18,000 subscribers and I owe a large number of them to the Total War videos I made in the run up to Rome 2. I first played Total War way back in the year 2000 as an 8-year-old, who had only ever played small scale strategy games like Command & Conquer and Age of Empires. When I played the pre-release demo of the first game, Shogun Total War, it completely blew my mind. Sequels like the original Rome and the following Medieval 2 really got me hooked on the series. Empire was a disappointment I mostly passed up, but Shogun 2 assured me that the Total War series still had that special something, and with the sequel to the magnum opus of Rome Total War on the horizon, we were guaranteed a revolutionary addition to my favourite game series of all time. Although I've been uploading YouTube videos occasionally since around 2007, it was the promise of the greatness of Rome 2 that really motivated me with regards to my YouTube channel, and inspired me to take the time out to upload videos on a regular basis, mostly in the form of max difficulty let's plays of games like Rome 1 and Shogun 2. I wanted to be one of the people on the scene making Rome 2 videos when it arrived because I really expected Rome 2 to be an amazing, incredible game. I bought into all the hype in the marketing, I even joined in with the hype, as my viewers and subscribers at the time can attest. The most recent Total War game was Shogun 2, which was great, and came on the back of the commercial success of Empire, which was a bit of a disaster in the eyes of the player base, including myself. So with a solid and refined Shogun 2 at the top of their resume, it seemed like CA had recovered from their one miss and learned from it. The developers seemed to be on track with the franchise. The pre-release material looked good, everything looked good. I ordered the Steam version and the Collector's Edition, because if the Collector's Edition arrived even one day early, it would have been worth it to me. That was how badly I wanted to play this game. Rome 2 arrived, and it was easily the most shambolic and agonising launch for a game that I'd ever endured. To this day, I still wonder to what extent the persisting mediocrity of the game is just residual from that painfully awful launch. On top of that, it became quickly apparent, especially after the ineffectual panic patching, that Rome 2 was easily the most disappointing game I'd ever played, and I was one of the people that had queued up for the midnight release of games like GTA 4 and was there at the launch of Hitman Absolution. I noticed it immediately. My first battle was a non-event where literally nothing happened. Seriously, part 1 of my Athens campaign, the first battle I ever played, and the first Rome 2 video I ever uploaded. The frustration and sheer disappointment only intensified as time went on. Let me qualify that sentiment, because I know what a lot of you are thinking at this point, and exactly what a lot of apologists for the game say when you speak negatively about your experience with the game. Rome 2 was not literally unplayable for me as it was for so many others. My PC was a monster, it was overclocked, overspec'd, way over the requirements, and so I managed to dodge all of the performance issues that stopped an apparently massive slice of customers from even launching the game, by way of complete overkill. I actually built my PC for Rome 2 like I did my YouTube channel and real life schedule, so I would definitely have the time to play the shit out of this game. I had the second most powerful GPU in the market, and my frame rates in Rome 2 were disgustingly poor compared to all other contemporary games, but the game ran fine. I was one of the apparently lucky few that could play this game on day one despite the optimisation issues. What that meant was that I had a front row seat for the catastrophic train wreck that was the vanilla of Rome 2. I was one of the people for whom the flaws of the game were laid completely bare and not obfuscated with unplayable frame rates, terminal crashes and waiting times. The game ran fine and I was able to play it, and I did. The game was just not fun. I tried to like the game. If you're subscribed to me, you know I tried so fucking hard. I restarted campaigns constantly to accommodate the patches that were being fetlessly fairly rabbit shit and were about as insulting, adequate and effective as trying to treat an amputated limb with a plaster. I tried different factions. You can easily see from my channel how I have 6 unfinished campaigns, some that are completely restarted to allow for the changes to take effect, and some for which I couldn't even endure the whole of the first 10 turns for whatever reasons. Of those that did, none of those campaigns got through the early game stage, not even the co-ops. The user interface annoyed and frustrated me, the campaign AI wasn't a threat.
It refuses to make large consolidated army stacks that have power behind them. Instead, it makes tons of smaller army stacks made up of a few units or less, and then it throws these in suicidal missions against your garrisons. What the f***?
They're either never aggressive, never sending troops to you, or they're suicidal and they send like one fucking dude. One.
The battle AI was comatose. The battles were just generally unsatisfying for myriad reasons, all of which I'd like to eventually address in full with this video series. The game was simply already boring to me from day one, and it got to the point where I just couldn't bear to play it anymore. So I gave this game a chance. It can't be said that I didn't. Steam says I've played for 200 hours, which is nothing compared to some disgruntled players, and nothing compared to the thousands that went into each of the other games in the franchise, but 200 hours over the course of a month is enough, and more than the 30 seconds that the indolent, fucking useless majority of reviewers apparently spent on it so they could rush out their misleading and detrimental reviews. I've played this game enough to get to know it, and I felt no attachment or immersion while playing. I haven't found myself daydreaming about what I'm going to do in Rome 2 after I've rushed home. For the first time after playing a Total War game, I just have no feelings of nostalgia. This game is not great, and that's putting it mildly. I would suggest that most players agree with me. If you were there back in the day and witnessed the awesomeness that was the original Rome, you'll know just how much Rome 2 has been a letdown. If you're one of the people that like Rome 2, I am jealous of you and I'm happy for you. That means you haven't yet experienced the true majesty of Total War, so stop watching this video and be on your way. You have better things to do right now. I recommend a Shimizu campaign on Shogun 2. If you have played the previous Total War games and honestly think that Rome 2 is up there with them, then oh boy, you must be a masochist or a video game fetishist or something. That's fine as well. It isn't the nostalgia goggles talking when I say this game isn't sufficient. If you were a subscriber of mine a mere 6 months ago and were with me throughout the Takeda campaign on Shogun 2, you'll know that the most recent Total War game as of a mere 6 months ago was also a masterpiece and played as such. It is an empirical fact that Rome 2 just is not like those games. It lacks too many things. It completely omits things from previous games, especially from its direct prequel that made them great. The quintessential example being family trees, and it lacks overall in aspects like immersion and depth, fun. By this point, 3 whole months down the line, a large majority of players have moved on from Rome 2 and forgotten about it and the money they paid. Many people have completely given up on the likelihood of Rome 2 ever being fixed and reaching the dazzling heights they imagined, and that the legacy of this series demands of this game. Some people have given up even on the possibility of Rome 2 ever being fixed, citing things like the game engine of Warscape being ironically completely inappropriate for the classical antiquity style infantry combat of Rome 2, the constant simulation of which would be its primary fucking task. Total War Rome 2. Rome. Roman infantry. Infantry. Even more still, think the problems are so inherent to the basal design choices of the game, or so dogmatically insisted upon and maintained by the developers, that they will not be changed out of pure principle. For all I know, those arguments may all be correct. The game was neglected, and I mean really neglected, and I don't mean neglected as in they ran out of time and rushed it, or that they spent too much of their budget on marketing, or that they recklessly shipped the game with bugs and issues. I don't mean that, even though I think all of that is true. I mean the amount of passion and care that went to this game was relatively minuscule, if any at all. If you don't know what I mean yet, or just don't want to believe me, I'll try to give an example to illustrate. Rome 2 is a strategy game. Strategy games largely involve making decisions that rely on situational awareness. They're about collecting advantages and denying advantages to your enemy, noticing that your enemy has mostly bows and that there are trees nearby that you can use for protection is a strategic assessment. Subsequently utilising that to your advantage to pull off a relatively clean victory is a classic Total War moment. It is the same when you notice a hill and win the race to the top, and then win a gritty infantry battle against a tired enemy who's fighting uphill, while projectiles rain down from above with amplified lethality. I do this in every battle where possible, amounting to thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of times over the past 13 years. Some of my most ridiculous and memorable victories were aided by or dependent upon the height advantage. The first Total War video I ever uploaded was not to YouTube, it was to Xfire, and it showed an entire Holy Roman Empire army being destroyed by a few units of Genoese crossbow militia in the valleys of the Alps in Medieval 2. Classic Total War moment that I still remember after many years. If there's anything you do in any real-time strategy game by default, it's take the high ground. It's been an integral part of Total War since the original Shogun back in the year 2000. I remember I played the tutorial and that was the ultimate lesson. Take the high ground. It's the first thing in the average player's mind when the loading screen is replaced by the deployment phase. He looks around the map for a hill, and if he finds one, that hill is the central premise of his entire battle plan. That is how he wins the battle. This idea is ubiquitous throughout RTS in general. Age of Empires from 1987, one of the first games I ever played and I'm able to cite, implemented this. It can be found in Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which was probably the actual manual used to design the Total War model of battle. Sun Tzu was explicitly cited at least once in the tutorial of the original game. The first ever 3D RTS and one of the finest games ever crafted was Homeworld, and that was set in space and encouraged players to attack from above with combat bonuses and malices. It's still intuitive even when there's no gravity. It goes to the essence of basic strategy and emerges as an effective strategy even when the game doesn't directly reward it. So you would think that Rome 2 would have the high ground advantage implemented. Rome 2 is the latest and biggest and best game in a stalwart series of strong strategy games. You'd think that despite all its failings and shortcomings it would have managed to do this properly. Of all things, units on the high ground should have the advantage over units on the low ground.
Now guys, you know what happened when you have these strange fights, where you get positional advantage, you get into fight, you have all advantages you can, and it's not working for you.
This is the most poignant and profound example that I'm aware of that shows just how cruel the developers were to this poor game. 2 years of development, hundreds of thousands of man-hours of exposure to this project for those developers, I'd like to think, and not a single one of them was ever in a situation where they were able to conceive of the fact that right under their nose in the midst of everything else, the combat was fundamentally broken in a fundamental way. It isn't like they just forgot to add it or thought they did, then you could put it down to placebo or something. It was completely reversed. We just got a patch after a month of complaining that fixed it, and not a word on how the hell this ridiculous bullshit managed to come to pass. It seems like I am the only one making this point. There should have been an outcry because this is just completely ridiculous to me. Regardless of how this happened in the first place, not a single developer working on this game was able and willing to fix this, and so it wasn't fixed and it shipped with the game. If they just weren't aware until we noticed and told them, they were completely inept in the worst possible way. If they were aware but didn't fix it and decided to ship, they're just completely unforgivably negligent and don't give a shit about what they're giving their customers. They have no quality assurance.
At least incompetent, and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results.
Okay, you might say, so they somehow fucked up a fundamental aspect of the gameplay which they then fixed after a long and painful month, you might say. You might even argue that the developers can't really be blamed for this oversight because their job is only to quickly assemble the game on a budget and with a deadline and as part of a team, and then take feedback from customers to fix the game as quickly as possible. There will be mistakes, they weren't really inept. Maybe they just aren't hardcore gamers or rigorous testers and it somehow slipped under the radar. It happens. Maybe you're just being too harsh and nitpicky and blowing this reversal way out of proportion. And that brings me to the next example. The notorious zombie face textures. Everyone knows about this. The game shipped with this creepy ass texture glitch where soldiers at a distance are drawn using low resolution textures that you can occasionally see with great detail without doing anything out of the ordinary. It regularly makes men on the battlefield look like ghouls from Fallout. I'm going to show you footage of my first ever battle in Rome 2, the same battle where the AI does absolutely nothing and we achieve a bloodless victory by way of capture point. More about that later. Here is the uncut footage from the very beginning of the battle until the moment where I notice this unnerving glitch. See how many seconds of exposure it takes me to notice what the whole of the CA development team give the impression that they didn't notice between them and all of the 2 years that they spent developing this game.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really know how this works yet.
That's just what's intuitive to me. Oh, we're on the battle map for the first time ever.
Reinforcements are coming from behind.
Let's look at your Spartans.
Look at this.
Oh man. Look at those beards, man, they look like gnomes.
See?
Your Spartans look ridiculous. They look like little gnomes.
Look at these gnomes.
What the fuck?
Why do they all get beards? Alright, I'm gonna... Line of sight's crucial here, so I'm gonna hide behind this little hill while I wait for reinforcements.
Super heavy spear infantry.
Right, let's sit down here. Okay, wait, I'm just looking at... Start battle.
Shit,
I'm
wait.
gonna look at all this stuff. My reinforcements are on the way, I'll gift them to you. There they are, they're coming in like I wanted.
No, it's more like it.
Oh,
Remember to put all the speed up for rotation and everything.
yeah.
Here comes
Men have
the
arrived.
helots. Dirty helots.
Alright, head up, it's speed up. Nah. I'm just gonna have a look at what they've got right now. They're all just forming a kind of line there.
There's only one guy in each unit that looks half decent. It's the guy with the big red plume. Everyone else looks like a complete muppet.
Yeah.
What the hell have those guys get wee hats on?
Wee hats on.
Look at their faces, they look insane, what the fuck? Oh, how did I do that? Their faces looked completely crazy a minute ago.
What?
Look, they got little retarded smiles. Zoom away out, like go out on the map, right, and then use the zoom on the camera to look at their faces even though you're zoomed way out. They have ridiculous like
Alright, the Spartan hoplites are going in the front, right?
do this, what the hell? Come on, look, zoom all the way out and look at their faces.
Wait, on what guys? Spartans?
The hell at Javelin Man over here.
Zoom out and look at their faces. They look angry.
They have wee bulgy eyes and big retarded evil smiles. 38 seconds. That was the time it took for me to realise, without even trying or really knowing it at the time, one of the many facets of the transparent failure that was Rome 2. If CA didn't notice this during their tenure as the omniscient architects of this game, and I did in under a minute as a frolicking first time player, then they shouldn't be able to tie their shoes in the morning, never mind construct a game. As with Elevation Gate, this could only have been introduced at the last minute before release, which says more about the nature of the creation of this game than anything I ever could. That something this rudimentary was a last minute job, or it persisted right through development and CA are retarded. I'll go with the former for the sake of sheer plausibility. This is the kind of night before hack job you'd expect from a university fresher at the end of their first semester, not an 8-figure company operating under a massive multinational corporation that turns over billions. What the fuck happened? I am one of the people that hasn't yet completely given up on CA and Rome 2, even though there are alarm bells to suggest that they themselves may have. I haven't given up, but I remain realistic. Rome 2 will probably never be the game we all wanted, even though it easily could be. We can sit and hope that CA fixes the game, or we can do what many people are doing, and being subsequently reprimanded for by brainless, bollockless apologist fanboys. We can tell CA the extent that their game sucks until they acknowledge it, or at the very least acknowledge that we clearly think that their game sucks. To some people that's a meaningful distinction. Once they acknowledge that, then we can make progress. They can then spend their time fixing their game and implementing what we are asking for, instead of just ineffectually polishing turd-like features and mechanics that we don't want and that condemn the game to being an unpleasant deviation from what we've come to expect from Total War that we paid for. So we should tell CA what they need to do and why we aren't having fun with this game. Customers have priorities, and CA should align their priorities and allocate the resources to match them. The number one issue with the game is the AI. It simply does not matter how good the gameplay mechanics are or how nice the game looks. If the AI doesn't work, you don't have an opponent. If you don't have an opponent, you don't have a single player campaign. If you don't have a single player component and the multiplayer is as hollowed out and bare bones as it clearly is, you don't have a fun game. So the absolute number one issue with this game right now is still the AWOL AI. As I said on day one and will repeat 3 months later because it's still true, the AI is anything from very bad to completely non-existent. Now I know what you're probably thinking or imagining other people saying. The AI has always been really crap in Total War games. This is true, but either a straw man, a red herring, an appeal to tradition or some combination thereof. It's a fallacy of irrelevance. Before release, we wanted and expected an AI that could
block off streets, which can split up its forces and actively defend or attack specific points in the map, which can execute outflanking maneuvers inside a settlement environment and split its forces up and attack an enemy position from multiple fronts.
This is advertising. As part of your pre-release advertising campaign, this was used by your customers to decide whether to take the plunge and pre-order, because we know how much you love it when we do that, or buy this game, and we did, in apparently record numbers. You had a responsibility to not exploit your loyal customers, which you failed to uphold. Ultimately, you scammed us with a textbook confidence trick, and that's why your Facebook pages are being buried under butthurt rage, and why your YouTube videos are being downvoted with increasing intensity while AI remains catatonic, while you apparently seem more interested in the next paid DLC. Paid, of course. Let's leave that aside for the moment. Of course, many of us, especially the veterans, expected the AI to be pretty crap like it was in previous Total War games where you also promised improvement. We expected you to fail to deliver, even after that used car salesman pitch, the temerity and delivery of which was bloody impressive and guarantees a place in the textbooks of future psychology undergraduates. We didn't expect any kind of a Skynet AI, we just wanted, at the very minimum, an AI as good as the AI in Shogun 2, and maybe slightly better. The AI in Shogun 2 being completely fine. But we didn't get it. Remember that clip in the very first battle that I showed you? Yeah, here's the end of that battle.
The end phalanx by default? No.
No, it's an activated ability. A unique ability. I don't know if it's timed, like if you can only do it once every... I'm gonna try it anyway. No, you can toggle it whenever. Is that the same with all abilities then? No
Look at
recharge?
this amazing AI right now, man.
No recharge time for all abilities then?
No, there is a recharge time. It's 120 seconds for rapid advance for me.
Alright,
Look at this AI, look at it. It's just sitting there doing nothing.
yeah.
The fuck? Why are you sitting there? They've
Yeah.
gone... Look at this amazing AI, they've just allowed you to sneak round, although there's line of sight so they can't actually see you.
Well,
Right.
Phalanx
Yep.
has to be like 5 men deep. Has to be.
They do it.
That makes an insane bottleneck. It's not like at the original Rome where you could have like a 2-man deep phalanx and just fist an entire battle line. I'm in phalanx and I'm in position.
You're capturing it. I'm not even going to walk forward, I'm just going to let you do that.
That's crazy. Let's see if the AI is retarded. I'm going to be annoyed.
I don't think we even need to fight. I think this army is about to be destroyed without even fighting.
I think you need a certain number of capture points, so maybe once we go...
There's only one that I can see.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's a small town, so no walls.
Maybe there's a timer, like a minute until you win.
50 seconds, it starts counting down, I think.
Victory points, okay, yeah.
Should capture.
The longer you hold it, the worse it is for them.
We really need to be able to respond dynamically to whatever the game throws at the AI.
They've not moved at all.
Maybe, oh wait, there's other units maybe. that we can't
49,
see.
48. Oh my god, are they going to be... Is the AI fucked? Have they shipped a
I think
broken
the
AI?
AI is fucked because this is their whole army, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, come on.
And they're doing nothing, and they've taken a settlement for nothing, pretty much.
35 seconds to go and they're just sitting there.
They're just, look at this, guys, look at this, what is this?
See if they were just running around, that would have been better. This is
You
hopeless.
think they would run to the capture point and they'd know it'd been captured?
This is a shame for display.
I'm gonna throw my javelins at them out of spite right now.
Just you're so angry at them for not even trying.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw them at them. If I
Oh,
can even do it
God.
in time.
Oh, that's terrible. First ever battle and we don't even
That is
kill anything.
awful, man, what the hell? Really? Is it gonna come up victory right now?
It's gonna come up victory
Is
right
it?
now. It's gonna.
It's taking its time.
Oh, did it do it?
Yeah.
The AI obviously is trying to win the battle, so it will do whatever increases or maximizes its odds of winning.
Oh, come on.
In battle, decisive
Oh,
victory.
no. No. No.
What the fuck? What was that?
Oh, come on.
Alright, they need to patch the pathfinding in this game. Okay, I just took
It's
a
not pathfinding, they didn't do anything, they
Yeah,
didn't
no,
even
there
try
isn't
to
even a
path.
path.
There wasn't a path for them to fail to try and do.
What the hell? The animations are in slow motion.
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, come on.
Okay, I got a town.
Oh, man.
We've introduced a new system in Rome 2, which gives the AI much more sophisticated forward modeling or prediction of the outcome of a battle.
Look at that, look at those stats. Apparently I got 888 kills.
I have no face right now. Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Occupy.
Alright, let me get onto the battle for...
A general ranked up for that.
oh, come on. That is awful, seriously.
Oh my god. Okay, when they attack, at least they'll like just run forward helplessly and we can actually kill things.
Fuck's sake.
What does authority even do? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna find
Come
out.
on, let's get onto this battle for roads, and if it happens again, can we even do this campaign if it's like that?
Yeah, that was awful. I don't know why that happened.
Oh man. Not a good start to my Rome 2 experience.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Fuck's sake. But at least there's patches. Let's wait until patch 4 and try again. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Patch 4, let's see how it does.
Oh my god.
Nice to see the AI's just as
Oh my
completely
god.
fucking inept as it ever was.
They'll start to notice that the AI is doing the same thing every time.
Single player. Not normally.
Jesus man, it's absolutely helpless.
Oh my god.
It doesn't know anything.
Are you kidding? Fucking 4 patches! What were they for?
What did they do?
No, they're disappearing again, look.
We came back to this campaign after
Oh
restarting
my
this
God.
campaign because we thought it was fixed. Fuck! Oh, come on!
Oh,
How
they're
do
coming
you-
to get you, they're coming to get you.
How do you make an AI so completely fucking inept?
Don't know.
It's worse than it's ever been in any Total War game ever.
Yeah. Shogun 1, fuck's sake.
Yeah, Shogun 1's AI was decent.
You can literally... You don't even need to kite them, but you can do that.
Look, they're half of the timer away.
Oh. Fucking oh.
Look at those spears going up and down.
Are they going for it?
I'm gonna just make sure they pay for with their lives if they do that shit.
What
Nope.
the fuck?
Nope.
Here we go. Nope. Nope. Don't take back to this shit. Nope.
Nope.
No, they were just going for a little stroll, you know. Keep running back and forwards.
I'm gonna do that as long as they do.
What the fuck? They're running. What?
They've got no clue what they're doing. They've got no idea.
What the fuck is happening? This is worse than what it was.
Yeah.
They can't even stand still.
He can't even stand
He
still.
just shouted, "Watch our flags."
Well, that guy knows what he's doing, but the rest of them don't. If only they would heed his advice. No, we're gonna sit and look at this agora, this marketplace. Fucking hell.
Look to your flanks. What the fuck?
He's the only one that... Look, in some level the AI knows that it's been a fucking retard.
Look out, sir.
Look, the game can tell when a unit's been flanked, it just can't tell when it should respond to it. Oi, piggy boy. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Heroic victory! Heroic, truly heroic.
Nothing happened.
Reminds me of our first ever battle. Exactly the same.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
What the fuck? What was that? What was that?
That guy just got booted in the balls. That kind of reflects how I felt when I saw the AI the first time.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You have further orders?
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck's sake.
At your command.
Fucking patch 4.
Fucking patch 4.
Fuck.
I'm demolishing these slums. Actually, no, I should probably make mobs first.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
I don't know.
I really am shocked. I thought all that bullshit was gone.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god. It looks like it's still unplayable. Gotta be honest, we've not really had a proper battle so far.
Yeah, that's true, we haven't. Completely inept. If you wonder why I stopped playing this game, that's the main reason. The single player campaign is the heart of the game. The AI provides the challenge that makes a single player playable. Try playing chess without an opponent. Even if the gameplay mechanics and design decisions were terrible, which they are at least to an extent, the game would still be fun because it would provide the player with a challenge, something to work to overcome. For me, and everyone I've talked to, the fun in Total War comes from repelling constant attacks from large armies that attack you head on. It comes from using your ingenuity to devise strategies to beat the otherwise damning odds. This is why I play on the hardest difficulty in every single Total War game I've played since 2004. If there was a higher than legendary difficulty for Shogun 2, I would have played on it. But when the AI is this completely hopeless, there's nothing to do or work towards. When the AI is worse than it's ever been in any Total War game, the fun to be had is as well. One thing all of my favourite Total War games and my best Total War moments have in common is that they involve the AI mercilessly throwing stack after stack at my front lines. Sometimes they attacked with multiple stacks at once, like in Shogun 2. Sometimes the spam was just completely unrelenting and barely able to be repelled. You felt like you could lose at any moment, like in Third Age's Gondor. I haven't had a single experience like that in Rome 2. The closest thing is the Civil War, which happens early on and then it's over. You can't prepare for it. It just appears out of nowhere with no warning in the most annoying place and pisses you off, and then depresses you because you just grinded through the biggest challenge you're likely to face, and it was so easy and so contrived that it wasn't just a pain in the ass, it actually assisted with immersion breaking along with everything else. Even if the AI was taught how to be aggressive on the campaign map, we would still have to contend with this bullshit on the battle map. This hopelessly oblivious and unreactive AI is what's killing this game the most. Large-scale, real-time battles are why people play Total War, and the fact that they're rare and